We're joined by Presidential Spokesperson Mac Maharaj. Mac Maharaj, good afternoon to you. Thanks for coming in. Could you explain why the President's office is not going to provide the media with proof of the bond you say he has on that property?
Well, let's just get our facts in order. Firstly, the President stated in Parliament that his private residence was funded entirely by him and his family. And part of that funding has been a bond which came into operation at the time when the family first decided to renovate their homes. That issue has since then become an issue as to whether a bond really exists. One newspaper said there is no bond on Sunday. Another one this week has said there is a bond. So let's clarify that issue. The President has spoken clearly and accurately in Parliament, and what he has said is factually correct. The question then has arisen, why he must prove it. Now, around proof, there are issues of confidentiality. We have rules governing customer and institutional relationships. We have rules governing privacy in our Constitution, and we have rules of governing the ethic conduct in the Act of 1998. Within those rules, we have said, and the President said this in his statement, there are investigations going on through the Public Works Department, Auditor General, and other investigations. And those are around a host of other allegations. So he is saying, let us wait for the outcome of those allegations which are looking at the matter comprehensively and within the rules of those confidentiality rules. And for that reason, he says, to prove it, a credible institution that is authorized by law, empowered by law, he will cooperate with it and produce the proof there.
You've obviously been following the reports in the media. I mean, our own Deeds Office search hasn't revealed any bond in the President's name for Nkandla. Are we talking about a bond, or are we talking about a personal loan?
The President's statement in Parliament, you have it in front of you, it's in Hansard, it uses the word bond. Now,
right.
you may doubt it because you are saying you are not aware of it. But that's an incredible way of arguing. I know one constitutional law expert has argued that way. The fact that you have not found evidence is not proof that there is no bond.
You're saying that proof of this bond would be given to the Public Protector or Auditor General. That's if it's going to be requested, but at the moment, no proof forthcoming from the Presidency. Can you confirm that?
I have not stated any institution. My statement has been very clear. We are ready to provide the proof to any authorized agency or institution empowered by law.
So when the request comes, that proof would be given?
Oh yes, at the drop of a hat.
The land on which Nkandla is built, as you well know, is owned by the Ngonyama Trust. As you probably also know, banks aren't in the business of giving bonds to people building on communal land. Was this an exceptional case?
That is a question you need to address to the financial institution that granted the bond. We as customers go to a bank, we seek a loan, we seek a bond, they provide the rules, they assess your application, and they decide yes or no. We are saying there is a bond held with a national bank, and that bond is a bond that the President is servicing on a monthly basis.
I appreciate the clarification. Something perhaps you can also help us with, Mac. I think a lot of South Africans wondering why the President would be happy to secure financing to improve and extend property that he's in effect leasing from King Goodwill Zwelithini.
In South Africa, this is an inheritance of colonial rule. There are vast tracts of land that were regarded as part of the native reserves. They are held within the traditional structures of our African societies, and they were mandated like that. In Natal, you had a Shepstone law. That determined it. It was a colonial lord who decided how it should be done. So land cannot be purchased and sold in certain areas of the country that fall under traditional rule. Those facts are realities. Yet people are building houses, and you can see it if you travel through any part of South Africa, Eastern Cape, Limpopo, you go where you want to. and you will see that is happening. And you have to ask yourself, haven't you got your approach wrong by saying because it is a trust land, therefore there can be no bond on any property there?
Did the President say he has a bond in order to deflect attention away from the fact that reportedly 248 million rand is being spent on upgrading Nkandla?
That issue too has been made very, very explicit. The Minister of Public Works has stated in Parliament that that figure is nowhere near the correct figure. Secondly, he has instituted a task team to look at that entire supply chain management. But as to where the money went, let's make it clear. The President in Parliament has said that his private residence has been funded by him and his family entirely. That government has not funded that. That the issues that arose around security that affect buildings that are not part of within his perimeter of his property and residence, those are not issues that belong to him. Those are not his houses. Those are not what he built, and he did not mandate that. So that is the clarity, and this figure that is being talked about relates to government expenditure, and it is under investigation.
At this point, can you not say how much is being spent? Does government know?
Andrew, to deal with matters like this that are an investigation is to preempt the investigation, to say very institutions that we have created through our laws, we don't have confidence in them. You have to wait. Today you can have an allegation made against a person to have committed a crime, and the matter is being investigated. How do you prejudge that matter? Do you sentence a person on your own perception, or do you have that thing and you have investigations because they look at all the facts?
As you say, the Department of Public Works and the Public Protector are all looking at the cost of the renovations and the supply chain management. Amidst these probes, what is the status of the upgrade in Nkandla? Is it on hold? Should it be on hold?
The President's private residence is attended to by himself, and none of us are going to stop that. There are other issues that have arisen and conflated around Nkandla. There are issues raised in the media about a road. You know that that road was decided upon by the KwaZulu-Natal government as far back as 2006 and is not part of the President's residence. Those are issues that will be sorted out based on the results of the inquiries that are going on. And the relevant minister will take his decisions as the matter develops.
Lastly, Mac,
and by the way, let me just say this. You've just shown a photograph again on your screen. The President said in Parliament, those houses that are there are his private residence. The houses that were built by government, which are not within his perimeter, are not the ones that are being shown.
Do you accept that the fuss that's been made in South Africa over all of this is coming on the back of comments from the President in his State of the Nation address and the Finance Minister in his budget speeches this year that are calling on us all to tighten up our spending? It would seem that spending of, let's assume that 248 million rand is incorrect, but a vast amount of money is being spent on securing the President's retirement home effectively. Is that disproportionate given the fact that we all are expected to be tightening our belts at the moment?
You obviously, Andrew, have not heard me, or you choose to disregard what I've said. I've said that the figure that you are throwing around of 240 million does not go with regards to the President's private residence. And whatever figure is involved, the Minister of Public Works has said there is a task team investigating that entire supply chain issue. To continually attribute that fund as a money being spent on the President's home is inaccurate.
I did say that I was assuming that the figure of 248 million rand was incorrect, but I think you accept that these questions need to be asked, and I thank you for coming in and attempting to answer them. Mac Maharaj,
Pleasure. Thank you.